One might look a little bit easier. Equation one, all right, let's do that then. you do the math right, it's gonna be the same answer, whatever equation you choose, okay? So sub y equals -2 into equation 1. All right? What does that look like? Well, equation 1 is x plus 6y equals -11, but y is -2, so it's x plus 6 times -2 equals -11. Okay? 6 times -2 is -12, so we have 6, or x minus 12 equals -11. X is going to be 1, right? Add 12 to both sides. X equals 1. So therefore, what's the point of intersection? 1, -2 is the point of intersection, right? Those two lines have to cross where x has value 1 and y is -2. What else would you rather do with it? Seriously, sitting at home watching TikTok, like, it's great, isn't it? Oh, you gotta see Mr. Craig, yeah. Give him my regards, right? Hey, you guys have any questions about it?
Número 5. Silly Horse. Número 4. Silly Man. Número 3. Silly Accident.
No.
Número 2. Silly Cat.
She's literally fucking sound like.
Honorable mención.
Iya, Pak, itu lagi biar kita prank lagi coy. Oh, lagi.
Número 1. Silly Car. Ello gays. Todavía había list of top 5 snack. Número 5. Chips. Número 4. Biscuit.
Proszę sam to ubiję. Eto dotle, opa.
Número 3. Snack.
Let's look at one more example, guys. We got equation 1.
Número 2. Birdabe snack.
Can we solve, or what's the easiest way to solve for x or y in either equation?
Honorable mención.
Either x or y.
There.
We can solve for y in this equation if we want.
Número 1. Un burger.
7y would equal 4x minus 1.
Ello gays. Todavía había list of top 5 music. Número 5. Music on Horse.
غريم اللي يصوحون ل
Right, to try to figure out how this, you don't want fractions if you can avoid it, right? So just look for an x or y by itself. This by
Número 4. Music file. Número 3. Music Camel.
Plus 3y, right? So we're going to say rearrange this time. Equation 2.
Número 2. Music Explótano.
X equals 10. This comes over and becomes plus 3y. 3y.
Honorable mención.
Equation 2 rearrange, right? So we're going to put that value of x in
Número 1.
the other
Mansing.
equation.
Ello gays. Todavía había list of top 5 León. Número 5. Leon Attack.
This section, put 10 plus 3y in front. Okay? we're gonna sub
Ello gays. Toda igual.
2 this time into 1. Equation 2 is
Ello gays.
equation
Toda igual have a list of top 5 sport. Número 5.
4x,
Jump.
but x is
Número 4.
4 brackets
Skateboard.
plus 3y.
Número 3. Boxing.
4x
Número 2. Fútbol. Honorable mención. Número 1.
That's why
Car.
first unit,
Ello gays. Toda igual have a list of top 5 mic. Número 5.
the distribution
Man add mic.
Tell us something your mum doesn't know. Yeah.
4 times 10, guys.
Número 4. Karmic.
Давай, давай, в микрофон пари.
4 times 3 is 12.
Número 3.
Y, there's
Ion mic.
y.
Înțelege fiecare ce vrea din această problemă, da?
Número 2. Reporter mic.
परेशानियां बताएं
Together,
Honorable mención. Número 1. Mic attack.
7
Well, I mean, yes, I can.
plus 5y.
Ello gays. Toda igual have a list of top 5 man. Número 5. Man Rideog. Número 4. Man Fall. Número 3. Man Rich. Número 2. Man Humskare.
20 minus
Honorable mención.
20.
The car is so complicated. Like, what does this even do?
Last they divide by 5.
Número 1. Man Play Minecraft. Ello gays. Toda igual have a list of top 5 file. Número 5. Man Drive Boat.
Dammi Giardo.
Número 4. Man Ride Bike. Número 3. Spider-Man.
Equation 2.
Número 2. Man Fall. Honorable mención.
Becomes positive, so this is x plus 12 equals 10.
Número 1. Man Jump.
Maths, literally nothing can go wrong.
Either 2, Sarah. there.
Ello gays. Toda igual have a list of top 5 cockroach. Número 5.
Has to
Cockroach Dance. Número 4. Cockroach Attack.
Oh my god.
Número 3. Cockroach Jumpscare. Número 2. Cockroach No Dile.
And then lastly,
Honorable mención.
Fühlen kannst.
Número 1. Cockroach Prank.
Faltes el respeto, gordo mogolico de mierda con discapacidad de tonal, la red concha de tu madre recluido mental hijo de...
equation 1, 4x minus 7y.
Ello gays. Toda igual have a list of top 5 watermelon.
Right side we have
Número 5. Capybara Eat Watermelon. Número 4. Man Eat Watermelon. Número 3. Cat Eat Watermelon. Número 2. Watermelón explótano.
2 plus 2 is 4, right? And 5 plus 5 is 10. What do you know is this?
Honorable mención.
Ich fühle grad.
Número 1. Watermelón Humskare.
你看这个西瓜很有弹性，跟皮球一样。
Ello Guys. Toda I have a list of top 5 funny momentos. Número 5. Car Attack.
Check.
Он вообще...
Equation 3y. The right side is 10. Again, x is -2, so -2 minus 3 times -4. When you sub in, -2. Again, we have a -3 times -4. 2 negatives make a positive, so this is plus 12. -2 plus 12 is 10. Okay. Everything checks out, so we know that's the only solution to that linear system. Okay?
Every day I'm shuffling.
All right. You guys have any questions about that? Okay, so all this is, guys, is practice, right?
Today is Sami, Mohammed Raza, sitting office please. Today is Sami and Mohammed Raza, sitting office please.
Practice these questions and then you don't. Right? Some practice questions for you, right? First one, just solve for either x or y. So look for an x or y that's there's only one of, right? There's one y here, so just bring that over. Bring the -4x over. Solve for y. Okay? Bring the -x over and the -3 over. You can switch those if you want, or bring the -5 over, it becomes negative, and then you multiply everything by -1 and divide by -1 to get rid of the negative. Okay? Here, bring this over and then divide by -3, right? That's all you're doing. This is just circle variable that's easier to solve for, right? X, easier to solve for y here, bring the negative over, right? Smaller value that's in front of the x, okay? Or in front of the y. 3 is the smallest coefficient, so use that, get rid of it, so it's easier to solve for x here. Right? Use substitution here, guys, so solve this for x. So if you want, you can bring this -x over to become positive. Okay, so x is going to be -3y minus 18. And then substitute that value into here.
Oh no.
Make sure you.
Mohammed Raza and Sudesh Nizami remain office, please. Mohammed Raza and Sudesh Nizami remain office. Thank you.
So we have to try to solve for X or Y in equation 1 and 2. Which one? So one that has 1x and 1 y? Yeah, that's the easiest one, right? So one more way to get that by itself. 2 negative 3 negative start. So x x is almost by itself here, right? There's only one x, it's -1 though, right? So this one, you have a bit of a choice here. You can either leave the negative here, bring this -3y over, it's gonna become positive. But then when you solve for x, you never want a negative, right? You don't want negative x, you have to have positive x. Okay? So you either bring this over to the positive, and you bring this over, or you can -3y over, and you can multiply everything by -1, okay, to solve for positive x. Okay? So the easiest way to do it, maybe less confusing, is to bring that -x over. Okay? So we have 3y in rearrange equation 3, right? So we have -3y is equal to 18 plus x. Then bring that 18 over, and then -3y minus 18. Right? Okay, so that's the value of x that you're going to substitute into equation 1. Okay, that's probably the easiest way to do it. Okay, this is what x equals. You're going to put that in equation. In 2 bracket -3y minus 18 and bracket plus 3y equals 12. Yeah? Try that, okay? Place those two things. Did anyone get an answer for number 3 here? Get a value for x and y? Hunter? Did you get a value for x and y in this one?
I got y.
So close. You got the right numbers. So it might be just a sign issue. Possibly. Okay. Very good though. Did you guys get an answer? What did you get? solve for y first, right? So when you put this in, so when you rearrange equation 2, you're going to sub, because you rearrange equation 2, sub that to 1, right? When you sub this one in here, we're going to have bracket negative 3y minus 18 plus 2y equals negative 12. So, got it? Not quite. We're putting this x away and in brackets putting this value for x in this place, right? Which is 3 bracket negative 3y minus 18. So that's our x value. This is 2x plus 3y equals negative 12. Okay? Plus 3y equals negative 12. Put your y's together. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3, right? So negative 3y minus 36, just calculate terms, is negative 12. Add 36 to both sides. 3y equals 24. And divide by negative 3. So you should get negative 8 as a value for y, okay? You can substitute that value for y into 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. You will get positive 6 for x when you substitute that in, okay? Try that, and then we'll, if you're still stuck, guys, let me know, okay? Let's just go. All right. You guys good? Any questions with that? You guys okay to get the done? Yeah? Okay, let's just look, I know, kind of gonna skip this, but let's, let's just do these ones together. Okay, so we're not, we're gonna skip these ones here. Let's just do these ones together and then we'll talk about elimination for tomorrow, okay? So, these ones are a little bit harder. But if you're asked, guys, yeah. We're on 18 now. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip a couple pages, okay? So if you're asked to solve for this, for x and y, what looks easier to solve for? Either x or y in equation 1 or 2. We have to solve for x or y in one of these equations. So what's this? All you're doing really, guys, is look for the smallest number here. Yeah. 2y, right? Let's solve for y in equation 1 because we're going to eventually have to divide both these numbers by 2, right? Which they're both even numbers, so 2 is divisible. There's any numbers divisible by 2 if it's even, right? So let's rearrange equation 1 to solve this for y. Okay? So leave this y where it is. What's 2y going to equal then, guys? If we solve this for y, 2y equals, well, we have -6, and what's going to happen to this? It's going to become plus, right? So we know that 2y is equal to -6 plus 4x. Okay, so it's just one other step we have to do here, just to get rid of the 2. Okay, because it's equal, we have to divide everything by 2, right? This, and this, everything by 2. So y would equal half of -6 is -3, and half of 4x is 2x, right? So y is equal to -3 plus 2x. That's it. Okay. What are we going to do with that value of y? We're going to put it in to what? Which equation? Number 2. It has to be the other. If we try to put this into equation 1, we'll get 0 equals 0 every time, right? So this has to go in for this y here in the other equation, always. Okay? This is equation 1, so we're going to sub 1 into 2. What does that look like? So instead of this y here, we're going to break -3 plus 2x. Everything else stays the same. We have 6x plus 4 bracket -3 plus 2x, because that is y, right? It's just 6x plus 4y equals -26. Okay, expand out our brackets. Everything else stays the same. 4 times -3 is -12, so this is going to be -12. 4 times 2 is 8, and there's an x there, so that's plus 8x equals -26. Put your x's together, how many are you going to have? 6 here and 8 here. Right? So we have 14x minus 12 equals -26. What happens when you get rid of the 12? We got -14 now, right? -26 plus 12 is -14. 14x equals -14, and x has to be -1, right? Equation 1 has smaller numbers, so let's sub that x equals -1 into equation 1 to solve for y. Okay. Equation 1 is -4x, but x is -1, so it's -4 times -1 plus 2y equals -6. Right. Negative times negative is positive, so this is +4 plus 2y equals -6. Subtract 4. -6 minus 4 is -10. Half of -10 is -5. Point of intersection has to occur when x is -1 and y is -5. For the solution. They want to. just equates it. All right. Okay, we'll just look at one more here, guys. And not the other, okay? What about this last one here? We want to solve for x or y in equation 1 or 2. X in equation 2, that's the smallest one, okay? So usually that's the best bet, right? If we solve for x here, though, we'll have a fraction. Yeah, if we solve for x, we have to solve by 2, right? 3 doesn't go into 7 or 14. So what's the next smallest number? 4 in front of it. Now, does x go, or does 4 go into 8 and into 12? All right, so that's going to be easier, right? So let's solve for x in equation 1. Okay? You can definitely solve for that. Get that fraction, but when you sub it in for this x here, you got a bunch of fractions. It's just harder to calculate, right? But if you do the math correctly, it's going to give you the right answer. But let's make our life easier, right? Let's rearrange equation 1 to solve for x. So 4x would equal negative 12. What's going to happen here? So you need plus 8y, right? Awesome. Get x by itself, we can find y. Plus 2y. Okay. Oh. That's your y.
Yeah, well, like I have no. And they just like so my parents hear it and they come in, and they have to come in like 4 or 5 times before I actually get it back. It's really bad.
All right. So we have a value for x. X is equal to negative 3 plus 2y. We rearrange equation 2, so it has to go to equation 2. Or we rearrange equation 1 from that value of x has to go to equation 2. Okay? So for equation 2, what does that look like? X is negative 3 plus 2y. So x, so negative 3 plus 2y. Minus 7y equals negative 14. Okay, and just expand out, simplify, guys. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. 3 times 2 is 6, so plus 6y. Minus 7y equals negative 14. Six minus 7 is negative 1, right? So it's negative 9 minus y equals negative 14. Add 9 to both sides. So negative y equals negative 5. If negative y equals negative 5, y has to be positive 5, right? Y is 5, you'd have negative 5. Or you can divide both sides by negative 1 or multiply by negative 1. Just get rid of it, right? We have a value for y this time. What do we want to sub y equals 5 into? Equation. Y is 5. which one says 4x minus 8y? Instead of y, we put 5 backwards. That has to be 5 are 40, so we have 4x minus 40 is equal to 12. Add 40 to both sides. 4x is going to be 28. Divided by 4x equals 7, right? So 75 has to be the point of intersection. So these were the practice questions, so you don't have to. You want to go back. For your homework, maybe just check over and make sure this is somewhere. If you want to try a couple of these, go ahead and try them. Try to make sure you know how to use substitute, okay? Quiz, maybe. Wednesday quiz. Friday testing. Because the following Monday we're not here, right? We're here, you guys. Oh, and then, okay, so after the 8th, so the eclipse day, you guys have a PD here that day. So on April 9th, we'll do the review for the first number. See when
I'm sorry, but the correct word to explain that, although it's still.
We'll be doing another one on lunch.
Let me see your schedule.
Okay, thank you so much for tuning up. I can do another stream.